Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Hannahsrock, and for those of you who don't know me or my story, I have a testimony that I share. I share it all the time like it's my job. And I created a video for those of you who just are tuning in right here that you can click to know in deets about my story. But for those of you who know and just want a quick summary, I was actually in a car accident 11 years ago. 11 years ago, I was told that I would never walk again. That is by doctors. But I've been a Christian my whole life, and I was prophesied over that God was going to heal me. And there are so many details to that, but that is where I'm just gonna stop there because I have something, my dog's ears flapping. But I have something so exciting to share, and so I'm just going to stop it there. You are more than welcome to watch that video and check it out because it is a story that I do believe is going to change the world. I think we have the potential of all changing the world and changing lives, but I do believe that my story will, especially when it's all said and done. Anyways, so getting into this, I'm so excited! Alright, so this week, this coming Sunday, I am going to be getting back up on stage with two other girls from my youth group to dance. Yes, to dance. I am dancing in a wheelchair. Whew, never thought I would say those words. But for those of you who don't know, I was actually a dancer before the car accident. Big story on that, tons of details with that. Again, you can go check out my video, but dance was a passion of mine. Dance was so much to me. And when I got in the car accident, it was like shattering to my world when they told me I'd never walk again. And so many people tried to tell me, Hannah, get back on stage, go and dance in a wheelchair. And I was like, no. I was filled with pride. I did not like even people looking at me. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to push because I didn't even like being associated with being in a wheelchair. You know, it was really hard on me. So dancing, no. Especially because I'm also a quadriplegic. I'm paralyzed from the chest down, so I don't have a lot of trunk muscles. And my hands, they're quad hands. I don't have grip in them. And so I didn't like people looking at the limitations. And I didn't like me not being able to do the moves like I could before. And so for 5 years of this decade and a year, I would tell God, I am waiting on you. I am not getting up in a wheelchair to dance. No way. But it came to a point where God was like, honey, I'm waiting on you. And there was a puddle of tears on the floor, a very pivoting moment where I decided that I would dance again. But anyways, going into that, I've only been up on stage twice since being in the wheelchair. The first time that I got up on the stage, yikes, I literally was up there thinking, get me off of this stage right now. And it was just to one praise and worship song. But I just had this moment where I realized it did not feel like what it felt like when I was dancing before. And when I did dramas and dances when I was in my youth group. Because I've been in this church my whole life. And I grew up in the youth group where I was heavily involved on the drama and dance team. And man, you would feel the presence of God in that room when we ushered in His presence through our worship, which was the dance and drama. So yeah, I realized quick when I was up on stage that it did not feel like what it felt like before. And I told God, I did it, I'm never doing it again. But then He pressed in my heart a little bit more, and I fell in love with Him a little bit more. And I made up a dance with my friend to a song called Nothing Else by Cody Carnes. And we got up on stage a year later. Now fast forward 2 years later, I have not been up on stage since, and this will be the first time I've been up on stage, and I am so excited I could cry. Oh wow. I'm excited because of this song. This song means everything to me. I heard it for the first time when I went to the VU conference. It's spelled V-O-U-S. It's run by Don Sheree and Rich Wilkerson Jr. They're the pastors of Vous Church. It's located in Miami. And when I heard this song, I mean, think of an ugly cry face. That was like all of us in the arena. It was like 3,000 or 5,000 people in an arena crying to this song. But for me in particular, the words to this song is my love for God and how these 11 years, He changed so much in me. And just His love for us, and also the love that I have for Him. Because there's a part in the song that says, it's always been you, every season of life, every long restless night, it's always been you. It makes me think of myself because I've had so many nights of just being sad and waiting on God to fulfill the promise that He told me. And let me tell you, it's not just one small thing that I've been told. It's so many that people have no idea. So I'm waiting on something that God keeps repeating to me. And it's been hard because I've gone through a lot. So this song really just pinpoints all those feelings and just makes me realize even more that He's always been there. And so further on in that, does that make sense? No, but also listening to this song, He opened my perspective even more to what this song means. So I was prophesied over that I would be healed in church. And so I knew that God was going to do something big with this healing, because He told me that this thing that He's doing in me, it was bigger than just me. And so I knew it was for a purpose in His plan that He has for the world to know who He is through a display of His affection for His daughter, which is me, a healing. And so the song is called Awestruck. And when I looked up the word awestruck and what it means filled with or revealing awe. Furthering that, it says to be struck with awe, a feeling of profound amazement. So my mom had showed me a scripture in the Bible from the book of Jonah. If you don't know what Jonah is or who Jonah was in the Bible, Jonah in the whale, Jonah the one that disobeyed. God told him to do something and Jonah was like, I am not going there, and he set off sail to go somewhere else. And when he did, rain came flooding down and everybody on that boat was frantic, asking each other to pray to each other's gods, because they all had different gods, and they were like, pray and ask your God to be merciful on us. And Jonah low-key is like, oh my gosh, it's my God, oh my gosh, like dying inside. And he tells them, you gotta throw me off the ship because it's my God. And so they did. And when they did, they were amazed by the storm completely stopping. And the scripture that I'm referencing was this. It says, then the sailors Jonah 1:15. It says, then the sailors picked up Jonah and threw him into the raging sea, and the storm stopped at once. The sailors were awestruck by the Lord's great power, and they offered Him a great sacrifice and vowed to serve Him. They were so amazed by something that God did that they lived for Him from then on. The next passage that God revealed to me was Peter. Peter was one of Jesus's disciples, and Jesus was teaching, and Peter and a couple of the other disciples were coming in on the boat from out at sea. And they were fishing all night long because they were fishermen, and they didn't catch anything, and I'm sure they were very discouraged, because you can tell in this passage. So Jesus told Peter, go back out and lower your nets, and Peter kind of was sarcastic in this moment and kind of argued back like, Master, we just did this all night long and we caught nothing. And so he said to do it, and he said whatever, and he did. And the scripture, it says, because the nets were filled with fish, they were overflowing with fish. And actually there is a show called The Chosen, and if you've never seen that, It's all about Jesus and his time here and his ministry here. And if you have seen it, you know this scene, and it's such an iconic scene. But it says in Luke 5:4, when he had finished speaking, he said to Peter, "Now go out where it is deeper and let down your nets to catch some fish." Peter says, "Master, we worked hard all last night and didn't catch a thing, but if you say so, I'll let down the nets again." And this time their nets were so full of fish they began to tear. And then it says in verse 8, when Peter realized what had happened, he fell to his knees before Jesus and said, "Oh Lord, please leave me. I'm such a sinful man." For he was awestruck by the number of fish they had caught, as they were with others. Those two passages really stuck out to me. God, I know, revealed them to me, because for me, I don't know when I'm going to be healed. I have no idea, but I know that I'm going to be healed, like 100%. There isn't anything that anybody could ever say. When Jesus speaks, it's gonna happen. And it's the reason why I know these things to be sure is because Jesus, God, is the beginning and the end. He's the Alpha and the Omega. So when he speaks something, he spoke it because he already knew it was gonna happen, okay? Because he's already been there. So he was telling me back in 2012, hey, you're gonna be healed because, hey, I've already been there. So all you have to do is just have faith. And so for these 11 years, I have held my ground and had faith. I have held faith because, for one, I'm going to hold tight to that little string or balloon of hope. Because anybody that tells you you're going to get out of a wheelchair, I would think that you would want to hold on to that hope. But for the second reason is because I know it is bigger than just me. I know this weight that I'm carrying, it's for so many more. It's for so many more, for people to know who he is. And so this dance means so much to me because I think about my healing. I think about what he is to me, who he has become to me, and how I was so depressed and consumed with depression, and he healed me of that. And I know there's so many people that are consumed with depression, and I know how demonic things are. And with that, we don't realize how spiritual things are. And some of us don't realize who the enemy is, that he is God's opponent, and how much he hates us and how much he wants to terrorize us and take us down. And so, I want people to know who God is, and sometimes it's really hard to get people to really know who he is, and they don't believe it. And so for me, I am excited that I get to be a display of who he is, a display of his affection, a love for a daughter, a healing that is an impossible situation. And so awestruck is a word that I want people to be when they see my healing, when they see who God is, and every word that I've ever said comes true. But anyways, ending that, I wanted to share this because dance means everything to me, and I hated the way I looked the last time I got up on stage. I hated what I felt like because it did not feel like I felt before. But this time, I don't have that pride looming around me. I am going to pour it all out on stage, on the stage that I always loved to worship and show my love for God on. I'm going to pour it all out there with these two amazing girls from my youth group. I now have the privilege of being a youth leader in the youth group that I grew up in. And I love them all. And I'm excited to see where God takes them and for them to be a part of my healing and so much more. So this is the first dance that I've done in a couple years, and I can't wait because this dance that I made up with these girls mean everything to me. And so on that note, I had to share about it. I wanted to do this video, put it out there. I've always had this desire for YouTube to show the good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing, and just show my process, show my journey here on YouTube, show who God is to me and where he takes me, show me in a wheelchair, and then when I'm healed and getting to ride roller coasters again, because really, low-key, I can't wait to do that, can't wait. But getting to see all those moments and giving the people who watch hope hope for themselves, because God is a God that does the impossible. And to never lose hope, because he can blow your mind, and he really does. It doesn't have to be a big healing like this. It can be something so small. But in what is small in God's eyes? What is small? Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling on and get back to what I was gonna do, which is actually gonna edit this video so I can put it out there. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I really am gonna try to post more on YouTube. So if you are just coming on here and you like this video at all, and you like my story, and you would like to follow me and my journey, please do. I want people to be a part of this with me, and it would be great for that. So give this a thumbs up like everybody says, and yeah, that's my thumbs up. See, this one won't go up at all, and this thumb just hides. Yep, those are quad hands, but hey, that's what's even greater about this whole healing. That's what's even greater. No, I said it right. That's what's so great about this healing, is because look at these hands. When they are healed, what is anybody gonna say? They can never say that that didn't come from Jesus. No way. These hands have been stuck like this for years. Okay, I'm gonna stop on that. Anyway, so yeah, give this a like and a thumbs up, and follow me, and come on this journey with me, and we'll have some fun together. I sound so cheesy. All right, I really am gonna stop. I never know how to end these. All right. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and be grateful for everything you have, because you never know when something can be taken from you. And 9 times out of 10, most of us are grateful when things are taken from us, and then we look back and have regret. So be grateful for the things you have now. It truly has changed me in many ways, being grateful and being happy where I'm at now, instead of thinking of all the things negative about myself. So, all right, that is all. And until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day. I told you I didn't know how to end these. I'll get better. Don't despise your humble beginnings, right?